Hey guys, welcome to this Speedfulfill Podcast. I'm here in China with a special guest, and we'll get to know a little bit more about his e-commerce journey and what he does and how he became successful. So, my name is Mark, CMO at Speedfulfill, and today I'm going to dive in with our special guest. I'll let him introduce himself. Rasmus, it's a pleasure to be here. So tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to people who don't know you. Who is Rasmus?
Yeah, like Mark said, I'm doing ecom. I've been doing ecom now for 1.5 years, and I'm based in Sweden right now.
And then we're here in China today. What do you think? What's your impressions about China in general, the food, the culture? Yeah, what do you have to say about that for people who haven't been to China?
China has been really amazing so far. So it has been, the food, everything. You guys have treated me very well.
Nice.
So everything has been very well so far.
Do you have some hot pot?
Yeah, actually, yesterday.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, hot pot is a popular dish here, and you have to have that, especially with business deals. And so it's really interesting for you to come over, and we'll get to know who's Rasmus, how your journey started, and give some sort of motivation, inspiration to someone who's listening. The first question is, how long have you been in e-commerce, and how was that journey in general?
I've been ecom now for 1.5 years, and the journey has been ups and downs, with everything. Because when I started ecom, I didn't have any experience of nothing, like anything. So I have been working a lot just to get everything to do, to be better at everything. Yeah, just to run a company and making better ads and everything like this to create a good brand and give a good customer experience for everybody.
Nice. And did you ever, or how do you deal with the downs? Like, how do you deal with down days? Because it's not always ups. How do you deal with those days? And how do you tell someone who is in that position right now?
Like I had like downs is I had a very like period who was very down, and but I think when those times come, I think it's very important to really focus on the whole picture. Focus on the vision, and every day is not going to be the same, and just keep doing every day, even if it's maybe you don't feel like it. Like keep going every day. It's about discipline. It's about, like I said, the vision itself. Because if you keep doing the thing over and over again, the compound effect will be so much bigger over time. So
you may not even see it sometimes, right? That it's actually getting bigger.
In those times you don't see it. So, but if you just focus, even if it's like you maybe have a hard day, but if you like do a little thing just to keep a little bit further, it will be, like I said, the compound effect over time will
100%.
I
also feel that sometimes. Yeah, like the macro, as long as it's going, positive, sometimes you will have bad days, but you get back. Yeah, great. And talking about the downs, like what would someone do to get past 100 orders a day? So 100 orders a day is a good mark for ecom. How do you get past that big hurdle?
I think it's a combination of course, making better ads. The ads is very, if you have bad ads, you will never get any orders, because it's the ads who makes the customer to get your page. So focus on the ads, and focus on good customer service. Like if you have happy customers, many of them will come back. So focus on those things.
Yeah, and when you spoke about ads, how is this evolving these days in e-commerce? Is it much harder, to get a good visual? Is there a way to make more? Does the quality reduce? How does a good ad workflow look like?
It's I would say like each ad works for different products. Like some is for like some products work for like picture ads, and some for videos. So you have to like try different angles for both video and image ads, and it's like it's like the whole ad thing is like you just have to try,
Mhm.
just to find the good winning angle. So and just if you have it, just focus to create more variation of it.
Yeah, I see a lot of ecom guys, or starters or beginners really give up in that because especially in
Yeah,
the testing phase, they don't see the end of the tunnel. They test, and then it fails. I've heard of guys who tested 5 products and it worked. I met a guy the other time who said he tested and got successful at the 80th product.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's always going to be light at the end, but when it happens, do you feel that there's no way to determine it, or can you make that much faster, like the testing phase in terms of product and ads?
I heard like some people say you have like if you test a product, then you can wait for 3 to 5 days to make sure everything is if it's working or
Yeah.
not. But it's I don't know if I. Of course, you can see like a trend if it's the first days, if it's like going up.
Mhm.
But I had for one of my stores, I didn't see any. I think I was break even at the fourth day, but
No,
in the fifth day it was like,
it definitely went up.
yeah,
So if you close it on the third day, we would have never known the
no,
result.
exactly. So yeah, it's you just have to try.
Yeah.
You just be patient and let's see what everything is going.
Yeah. So finding a winning product is already hard. Then finding a supplier is even harder. How did Speedfulfill in this case help you to stabilize your supply chain and sourcing and fulfillment?
Speedfulfill has been like a very big part of the whole process because if you don't have a good supplier, it will be very hard for you to keep the customers happy, to deliver good shipping time, everything like that. And if it's any problem with some issues, like it can be anything, and you have a good communication with the team,
Yeah.
and the issue is gone.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have a good supplier.
Yeah, I always feel that way, and just to add on, communication is sort of key. Whoever your supply is, make sure communication is key.
Yeah,
It's proactive.
yeah,
You know what's happening. How is your product being shipped? A lot of you guys out there don't even know how your product is shipped. How does it look like? So this communication is key, and there are ups and downs in logistics, and when those days happen, you need someone who's got your back and able to explain it. And there's one thing that I always say with suppliers in the market is don't sugarcoat situations,
yeah,
because sugarcoating, it lasts, the sort of effect of that coating lasts for some time, but then when you get to the core, things then get even worse
yeah,
because they were sugarcoated. So
yeah,
yeah, that's a definitely a good one.
yeah. I think it's also important to have it like I discussed before with some of your colleagues, like I'm a very directive person. If I feel something, I say it. If
100%.
it's an issue, I take it up. So
100%.
it's very important to so you just don't sit there at home and you feel something but you don't say anything. It's very important to if you feel something, just say it
Exactly.
to keep it out of the way.
100%. Very dangerous just to
Yeah,
keep it. And
yeah.
yeah, just the basic
Because that
communications.
that will also, if you have that kind of relationship, it will take you very far.
Yeah.
Because it's also dangerous to keep it inside in
Yeah,
those
because when
tunnel
it
about.
blows up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's an
yeah,
explosion,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you flew all the way to China. You checked out our warehouse. What was impressive about our warehouse and our facilities?
I think it was like first of all the warm welcome, very appreciated, and yeah, the warehouse, everything was very, it seems like you guys have control. It looks very, professional. Yeah, I felt when I left the warehouse, I felt like I said when I was there, I said it's
Mhm.
yeah, this looks good. I
Nice.
I feel good about this. So
Nice, nice. That's a good word. I like the
yeah,
word used. Like it feels like we're in control, which
yeah,
is what you want
yeah,
when you're overseas and you know that everything is in control. And
yeah,
and like you said, we add communication. I think that's the best of both
yeah.
worlds. Yeah. So that's really good. And speaking about communication, how's the experience with our account managers?
It's been very good. Uh, I think I have a very good relationship with the account manager. And like I said before, when I have any issue, I bring it up, and you guys solve it. So
Yeah.
it's I think it's handled very good. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy to you know to get everything.
Yeah, to deal
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
to deal with it.
I remember you gave me an example when we met in Sweden, and you talked about a situation where our team actually dealt with the
Yeah,
situation
yeah, yeah,
very swiftly.
yeah,
Yeah. Would you want to talk more and yeah, just explain that one and how things went with our account managers?
yeah. Because this time it was like I think it was like the customer get the wrong product. I
Hmm.
think, and for me, it was in this time I had to market with the UGC creators, and these guys get the wrong product. So and for me that's a lot of money because I already pay them and everything.
Yeah.
It will cost me money.
Hmm.
So but you guys took responsibility and paid for everything. So and that's was for me that was a kind of loyalty to show for me because for me that's also uh, it was a very important like I said uh, like a loyalty turning point for
Yeah.
me to show that you guys showed me that kind of support, because then I know that you have me by your side also.
100%. I
So
like the word as well. We took responsibility,
yeah,
and that's one thing that happens in very fast-paced industries,
yeah,
where things will go wrong. And
yeah,
when things go wrong, how do you react?
yeah,
And we're very impressed with taking responsibility. I
yeah,
like a lot of words you've used.
yeah,
Taking control as well.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that's a very good example of how you take a situation and use a realistic point of view, and
yeah,
use communication to get a better experience as well.
yeah.
So, what is the biggest mistake you see with beginners when selecting a supplier or a 3PL in your experience?
I would say impatience, because when I what I see is like the most of the beginners, it's very like if they don't find a winner and everything,
Hmm.
uh, it's a very like common thing to blame on someone.
Yeah.
And in these cases, uh, most of like the people who switch like supplier
Yeah.
to maybe they think it would be better with them, like that. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
So but yeah, like that.
They very good points. Like they're impatient, especially a lot of beginners,
Yeah,
because I always say this, especially as suppliers, we're very vulnerable,
yeah,
because the structure um, in basic structure is you have your advertising with Meta, you have your payments with Shopify and Stripe, and you have your supplier. Let's say they're in China, and usually the most accessible is always the supplier, and a lot of times valid or not valid, but suppliers are quite vulnerable because then um, sort of that impatience now goes off on the supplier, because if you go to Meta, it's a big company,
yeah,
it's a mega company.
yeah.
Like it's not like they need you
No,
in a way.
no.
Stripe as well.
Yeah,
It's not like they need you.
yeah,
And then the supplier is usually the most vulnerable at the point, and it often happens. Of course, there's different sides to different stories,
yeah,
but I definitely agree with you on that one. That impatience as
yeah,
well, and if I can add as well, prices sometimes like price wars
yeah,
is something that's a big challenge.
yeah,
I wanted to get your thoughts on price wars, because a lot of you know. Um, of course, ecom guys are always looking for a supplier with the cheapest price. What's
yeah.
your take on that?
Uh, of course, you want to have a good price, but I think also, uh, it's it's the like I said before, it's the whole thing. If you have good shipping time, uh, like in combination with good price and maybe loyalty,
Yeah,
I think I think in these cases like loyalty and those kind of things weighs up more,
100%.
because in those cases you can also negotiate better prices.
Yes.
So you also have to be aware to to create a strong bond with your supplier.
Yeah.
That's I think that's the most important thing.
I 100% agree. I agree because a lot of times, um, you can optimize a price anytime,
Yeah,
but you can't optimize a relationship anytime,
exactly.
and people don't think about it in
Yeah,
that way.
no.
Yeah, if you're giving advice to someone now who's stuck on 5 orders a day or 10 orders per day, what would you tell to them today?
I would say just keep going every day. Analyze what's uh, your case. Look at your performance of the ads. Look at your site. Like, is it converting? Just to try to analyze everything. And like I said, some days will feel very tough, but just keep going every day.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of value, Rasmus. Thank you for your time. I love a lot of points that you mentioned. I'll actually even take them with me.
Yeah,
Control,
yeah,
responsibility.
yeah,
These are keywords that
yeah,
you should think about. I guess in business in general,
yeah.
right?
Of course.
Yeah, and it was a pleasure to have you today. In China. I hope you have a good trip as well, visiting suppliers, building relationships.
Yeah,
It's always fun to build relationships, and I think it's a bit different from Europe with building
yeah,
relationships
yeah,
here,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's all we have for
yeah.
today. It was a pleasure. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank
much.
you.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Keep up and follow for more because we have updates, with a lot of our clients, people in the space, and we'll sure bring you more content in the next one. Until next time, peace.